Russia's military operation has demonstrated a high level of combat readiness of the Russian Aerospace Forces and positive results of the military reform in general. But does Russia have a powerful navy as well? What does its navy fleet consist of, and what are its capabilities? Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Before we get into the video, kindly note that the information provided in this video is for educational purposes only. Without further ado, let's dive in. China may pose the greatest national security threat to the United States and the West, but Russia should not be overlooked. Moscow has been pushing a modernization program for its aging military forces for years. The Russian Navy has played a crucial role in modernization of Russia's military forces. Following the dissolution of the Soviet Union and subsequent recession of the Russian economy, the Russian Navy, like the rest of the Russian military, experienced a great deal of neglect. Although the Russian Navy's status has improved since the late 2000s, it's still about 75% smaller than the Soviet Navy, which had around 650 ships at its peak. The Soviet Union, which was historically a land force, struggled for most of its history with the idea of a large naval aviation arm, eventually settling on a series of hybrid aircraft carriers. When the Soviet Union fell apart in 1991, Russia was left with nothing but ruins and rubbish, as then Minister of Defense Pavel Grachev put it. Despite the fact that Russia is the world's second largest military after the United States, the Russian military has experienced a significant restructuring that has had a significant impact on its capabilities. Russia, like the Soviet Union, has a long and proud maritime legacy, and submarines are the crown jewels for naval combat strength in the Russian naval establishment. Submarines are critical to growth of the global military power since they are used for both nuclear deterrent and force projection. The Russian Navy is composed of 4 fleets: Northern Fleet, Pacific Fleet, Black Sea Fleet, and Baltic Fleet, and 1 flotilla, the Caspian Sea Flotilla. The Russian Navy, as the Russian Armed Forces maritime component, has 2 principal mission sets: strategic deterrence via nuclear weapons and homeland defense. It does, however, have the capability of conducting global deployments, albeit on a considerably lesser scale than the United States Navy. The Russian Navy has steadily increased its maintenance, training, preparedness, and deployments as a result of modernization initiatives, according to the Defense Intelligence Agency. Moscow is also building new surface ships and submarines in addition to these programs. The Russian Navy now has roughly 130,000 personnel and 32 major surface vessels, including 1 aircraft carrier, 2 battle cruisers, 1 cruisers, 12 destroyers, and 11 frigates. The Russian Navy, on the other hand, may field a larger number of smaller ships like corvettes, minesweepers, and patrol boats. The Russian naval arsenal, most critically, has 70 submarines of varied ages and capabilities. The Russian Navy warships are on average 20 to 25 years old, which necessitates a modernization program if the warships are to remain combat effective and competitive. Warships, on the other hand, could be kept in service for up to 40 years with adequate improvements and upkeep. Submarine development necessitates a very sophisticated industrial defense basis for design and manufacturing. Therefore, both advanced, conventional, and nuclear submarine capabilities demonstrate how advanced the total military capabilities are. Russian military capabilities have grown significantly since 1991 as a result of modernization and financial reforms, as well as a turn towards high-tech armament, all of which have boosted the capabilities of their nuclear-powered submarines. Russia has turned its focus to new specialist capabilities that enable power projection while keeping its nuclear submarines afloat. These advancements show that the North Atlantic Treaty Organization forces are now facing new threats. The disintegration of the Soviet Union resulted in a drop in Russian military hardware across the board. Although the formation of the new Russian Federation inherited the majority of the Soviet Union's equipment and manpower, a substantial fraction of it, partially sophisticated equipment, was transferred to former Soviet republics. As a result, according to historian Bettina Renz, the majority of equipment obtained by Russia was outmoded. The First Chechnya War exposed Russia's military lack of readiness and capability to meet difficulties of the 21st century combat. This reduction has a significant impact on the Russian submarine fleet. Only 64 submarines were operational in 2000, which is down from 266 submarines in 1991, including 60 SSBNs. Nuclear assault submarines and cruise missile submarines have been in short supply in the Russian Navy, with only 25% of the platforms in service in 1991 still operational in 2000. The Russians' Navy ability to operate at sea and maintain the credibility of its submarine threat was severely harmed as a result of this significant drop. However, as military spending began to rise, the drop came to a stop. Defense spending has been boosted since 2000 with Vladimir Putin's ascension to power and a strong rise in oil prices after a steep decrease in the 1990s. It is worth noting that modern equipment is likely to refer to the equipment created after the Soviet Union fell apart. In certain cases, SAP targets were fulfilled by modernizing legacy platforms based on the Soviet-era architecture. While some submarines have been delayed, for example, 4 Bori-class SSBNs were commissioned by 2020 instead of 8 initially planned, the process of commissioning submarines have vastly improved. The first Bori-class SSBN took 16 years to commission, the third took 8 years, and 8 modernized Kilo-class submarines were delivered in the previous 6 years. Some of the delays can be traced back to the economic slump and the loss of Ukrainian shipyard following an annexation of Crimea in 2014. As a direct result of the New Look Modernization Initiative, which began in 2008, Russian military hardware is now more modern and technologically advanced than it was in the 1990s and 2000s. This aspiration has resulted in the creation of new cutting-edge underwater capabilities that are comparable to those of several Western powers. The Yasin-M SSGN class provides a substantial advancement in acoustic signature, weapon integration, and subsystems. The Severodvinsk is the most capable Russian attack submarine ever built, according to the US Navy, and leverages many of the technologies the Soviet Union invested in during the 1970s and 1980s. The last Bori-class SSBN is notable for its improved stealth capabilities, improved underwater maneuverability, and the employment of the Buvla submarine-launched ballistic missile, which is considerable technological advancement over its predecessor, the Typhoon class. The Bori SSBN is expected to be commissioned in 10 units by 2027, giving Russia a more contemporary SSBN class than the US Navy's 14 outdated Ohio-class SSBNs. Russia has focused its efforts on new specialized capabilities in addition to constructing ultra-modern submarines. Future R&D initiatives and breakthroughs in the submarine industry demonstrate Russia's desire to keep up with, and in some circumstances, surpass Western technologies. According to the International Institute of Strategic Studies, the most noteworthy advancement is the adoption by submarines of the Caliber long-range strike missile, which is a game-changer in the Navy's contribution to the border national strategy. Indeed, the modified Kilo-class diesel-electric attack submarines demonstrated that the Russian military had obtained this new capacity in 2015 when they fired 4 Caliber missiles from Eastern Mediterranean Sea at ground targets in Syria. The calibrization policy calls for the cruise missiles to be mounted on the Navy's surface combatants and, more crucially, its submarines. In today's world of modern missile technology, however, the vessel that delivers the weapon isn't as vital as the weapon itself. The Russian Navy, for example, could and has deployed 3 M14 caliber cruise missiles on commercial or even ship-breaking vessels to greatly boost its precision strike capability and thus deterrence. As a result, the United States and NATO may be able to equip larger, more modern warships. Nonetheless, the Russians might counteract these advantages by developing larger fleets of tiny ships armed with hypersonic and subsonic missiles. The 3M14 caliber is a land attack cruise missile with a payload of about 1,000 pounds and a range of over 1,500 miles. It can carry both conventional and nuclear warheads. When the Russian warship fired a volley of 26 missiles into anti-government forces during the Syrian civil war, the missile was used. In addition, Russia's offensive capabilities would be strengthened by the Sirkin hypersonic missile, which is now being tested. Despite its flaws and limitations, the Russian Navy remains a significant force that poses a real threat in the event of a conflict. What should we cover next? Do let us know in the comments section below. Also, don't forget to smash that like button and also press the bell icon to get notified about our new videos. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other videos.